Hey guys, welcome to the Real and Raw
with Tasha
and Angela, and we're back.
Yes, we are back. We took a week off.
Yes,
Um,
we needed it.
it was definitely needed. A lot has happened, and you know, we've always said we're going to be real with you guys. We're going to be raw with you guys, and there's times that we are going to need a break, right?
Yes,
And we encourage everyone to listen to your body, listen to what's going on in your life, and determine what's a priority at that time. So last week, I turned 33.
yay!
And it was a really hard birthday for me. Not only because we're in a pandemic and there was nothing that I could do, even if I wanted to do anything, but also because this is the first birthday I am celebrating or I celebrated without my partner. So it was rough. So
Mhm.
last week was definitely a rough week for me. How about you, Angela? How was your week last week?
Um, it was. I mean, it wasn't as rough as yours, but it was. I just wanted. I didn't really, wanted to like talk to people. I just wanted my space, my alone time.
Mm-hmm,
So I took that time to just like focus on me, have a little me time,
mm-hmm.
and it was well needed. It was
Yeah.
good, and now I'm back,
How do
and
you feel?
I feel I feel good.
Good, 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 good. I mean, and that's what it is, really. Like, we started this podcast again to, let people know that life is real, right? And there's
Right.
things that's going to happen in our lives that maybe we don't have control over, or, we don't always have um, the answers to. So sometimes, you got to take a step back and,
Yes.
you know, process,
Yeah.
process your thoughts, process your actions, and kind of see from there, like, where life's going to take you.
Yes. And we actually our 10th episode was talking about self-care.
Yes.
So we actually definitely took that whole week after that and just focused on us and what our body and our
Our
minds
families. Yeah.
needed.
Yeah.
So it's definitely important to take, whenever you feel like you need a little break from the world, from people,
Yeah.
just, take it because it's
Yeah.
really good.
And it's
Once
important.
it's
Yeah.
very important.
It's
Yes.
important. You are no good to your employer. You're no good to your kids.
Mm-mm.
You're no good to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, if you do not take care of yourself.
No.
So that's what we did, and we were contemplating coming back after the holiday, but we also felt like it was important to not leave you guys hanging. We had people ask us, where was we, and again, like, this is very therapeutic for both of us, so it's very important that we continue this journey, and I'm excited to be back.
Me too.
So we felt like, a week before Christmas, 2 weeks before the new year of 2020.
Can you believe it? Oh my God, it just flew by. Like,
Yeah,
I
so
can't
much
believe
has
it still.
happened. I'm so ready for 2021.
Me too. I was about to tell you, I'm so ready. Hopefully, it's a better year than what we had.
Yes,
Oh my goodness.
yes. I'm
It
sure
was just,
all of you guys could relate. Like, we're so through with 2020, and it taught me a lot, so I don't regret it. Right? I'm a firm believer. Everything happens for a reason. You go through things in life to get you to that next level, whatever that next level is for you. That's why we go through what we go through. So I think
yeah,
2020 has definitely been a rough year for everybody.
yeah.
But what is the
For me,
lesson?
I feel like I cherish so much life, family, friends, like people around me that I love. Oh my God, like, you know, this whole year, obviously, so many deaths and stuff like that. Like, it's just been a year that you need to like really sit down and be like, really think what's important, in your life and
Yeah.
what's not important. And
Yeah.
obviously what's not important, like, don't even waste your
Stress
time on
it
it. Yeah,
with
don't stress
energy,
about it.
no
None of
negative
that.
energy, and it's easier said than done.
It is.
But it's a work in progress, right? And we need to, speaking of self-care, just try to focus on those things, our positive affirmations every day, just reminding yourself that you have a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. And, you know, we are not here on this earth to stress, right?
Right.
Stress will actually have us leave this earth sooner than what we're supposed to. So it's important that we take the
Definitely.
lessons, the good ones and the bad ones, and move forward on how we're not going to make those mistakes again, or we're not going to make those decisions again. So
Yes.
hopefully we'll see everybody in 2021.
Yes. Okay, yes.
And we'll be singing a new tune, right? So
Yeah.
today's topic we thought was really important because after our self-care topic and our 1 week hiatus, we thought it was very important to just discuss, checking on your friends, and not just your friends, but your family, right? The holidays is hard for a lot of people, for a lot of different reasons. And I found that I speak to a lot of people and I'm like, hey, so, Christmas is Thursday. Like, you got any plans? What are you guys doing? And a lot of people have told me that they don't celebrate Christmas, not for the reasons that we think. Have you felt that way, Angela? Like when you speak to people this year, do you know of a lot of people that are celebrating Christmas?
Um, okay, like we mentioned, obviously this year has been very rough.
Mhm.
And I have, when I speak to certain people, I don't ask them if they're gonna celebrate it because I feel like, because you never know what they're going through,
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't know if they lost their jobs, you don't know if they don't have, money for, just the holiday at all. And
yeah.
you don't know if they're in the holiday spirit or anything like that, or if they lost someone they love,
Hmm.
so I tend to not really touch that topic with them.
Yes,
But I do ask them, how they are and stuff like that. But when it comes to the holidays, like, it's just tough right now for a
yeah,
lot of people.
yeah. Are you
So
celebrating? I,
you see, I was in the holiday spirit way early this year. Why? Because I feel like, with this whole pandemic and this whole thing going on, all negativity and stuff, like, I wanted to bring joy to my house.
yeah,
Whatever the heck we're going through or whatever it is, like, I'm not bringing that into my household. Like, it's all about joy, and we're thankful we're alive, all of us. I'm
yeah,
thankful that my mom, like, I haven't lost no family members, none
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
So it's like, I'm in the holiday
It's
spirit
just you're
and my
full of
kids.
gratitude. You're full of gratitude,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
and that's important because even throughout all of this, you find that people are still complaining. People are still miserable, and it's like, you try to find the positive out of the negative. And again, it's
Yes.
easier said than done when you're going through it. It's hard.
It
Um,
is.
but we have so much to be grateful for. There's so many people out here that are worse off than us. So when you think you hit rock bottom, there's someone that hit a little bit harder than you.
Yes.
So I think that's important for us to remember.
Yes.
For me this year, again, my birthday, it was my first year not celebrating with my husband, and it's hard. Like as in previous podcasts, we discussed that, me and him, we started dating when I was a senior in high school. So
Right.
every holiday as an adult was spent with him. So this is
It
the
sure
first.
was. It sure was,
First
because I
without.
remember there was times like, Tasha, you come in and celebrate with me, your bestie. You would be like, it could be either the day before or after, because I'm celebrating my birthday with my family.
Yes,
So I understood that.
yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, so my birthday and then also, the holidays. So Christmas, Thanksgiving. I keep saying Thanksgiving. Christmas and New Year's would definitely be different. But, you know, um, again, it's one of those things that we said, like, you can go through it, but get out of it, right? Know not
Right.
to stay in it. So there are times that I'm sad. There's times, my birthday was really hard for me. I actually relaxed the whole day with my children. And then in the evening, I forced myself to get up and I let them go outside, and they actually played with the snow. And then we went to the mall. Um, and,
Okay.
and for like 2 seconds, literally, because coronavirus, right? You don't want to be around a whole bunch of people.
I know you were paranoid because that's how you
Yeah.
are.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So we went there and just, had some fresh air and then came back. And then I really went to sleep really early. I believe I was in bed by like 7:30, which was, early, but I consider it a self-care day because I just relaxed. Like I didn't have any major
Yeah.
plans. And you know me, I always make a big deal out of my birthday.
You do. You do.
So it was good. It was good that this year I was more just in the relaxation mode and not, running and trying to make everything perfect. It didn't have to be perfect. It was okay if I cried a little. But again, like we said, move forward. I'm grateful I made it to 33. A lot of people didn't even make it to their next birthday because of COVID. So,
Yes.
anytime you try to think of a negative and a negative comes, always figure out the silver lining. What's the positive out of that situation?
Yes.
Um, so yeah, so Christmas will be rough for me, but I'm going to make new traditions with the kids, and I think that we'll be okay. There's so many people out there that are celebrating without their family members, without their loved ones. Um,
Yes.
and I think that I've spoken to a few people that like their parents passed, and since their parents passed, they really haven't celebrated any holiday the same anymore. And my dad passed in the summer, and Thanksgiving I did celebrate at the time with my family, but with my husband, even though we were separated, but it was hard. Um, Even though I was there, I wasn't there. So, everyone's going through their own thing this year. And that's why this topic is so important to check on your friends, check on your family. Social media, life has made it so easy to not call, to not actually hear the person's voice. Um, and I think that this year, if anything, don't send me a text message, Merry Christmas. Like, call me, right? Like, that's how I feel. And I feel that way because I feel like a lot of people don't really know, what someone's going through. And, I think it's important I've been reaching out to some of my friends I haven't spoke to, right, in a while, because I feel like it's important to have that connection, not just texting, me not just looking on social media, seeing their posts and like, oh yeah, they're okay. Like, no, it's good to hear their voice, right?
Yes.
Um, Tomorrow's not promised, and I think that for me personally, Angela has been really good because I've been going through a lot. That you've been really good with like checking in on me, right? You do text, and the text is fine, but if you don't hear from me, you'll call me at like
Yeah.
almost immediately, back to back. I think you called
Yeah.
me back to back today, and and I appreciate that. So I think sometimes
That's very
too,
important to have especially when you're going through stuff, through stuff that is hard.
yeah,
It's good to have like a big support system, whether it's family, friends, just people there who actually care for you and actually are there to listen to your problems, to give you advice or just be an ear, just to hear, so you can vent, so it's a very important. And I mean, we've been friends for a long time, so I'm used to it now.
yeah.
So it's
I
like,
mean, I think that thank God we're not going through the same thing at the same time, right? Because
oh
I
my
feel
God.
like, and I think this is important that God puts people in your life when you're going through situations that are equipped to have patience, equipped to
Yes.
listen, equipped to know the right things to say, right? Because I could
Mm-hmm.
be in the process of, let's just say hypothetically, like around the holidays, people get suicidal, people get depressed, right? So not
Yes.
saying that I would do this, but saying that, if I called you and I'm like on the ledge and I'm ready to jump and you're irritated with what I'm saying to you, that could be the last phone call. right? Like, and I think it's important for people to realize that, like, that text message could be the last text message.
Definitely.
That comment on Facebook, that comment on Instagram could be the last comment that that person posts. And then
Like, you know, when it comes to us, we obviously have mentioned here we don't agree to certain things sometimes.
Mhm.
And there's been times our friendship is not perfect.
Yeah.
There's been times that we like really like just go off at each other and just have that moment that we just, you know what, I'm just hanging up the phone.
We actually did that today, guys. That's why
Oh
she's
my
mentioning it.
But it's just, you know what? It's
But
like
it's real. It's real.
it is real. We're human. And I mean, for me, I felt like, yes, I was the one who, I hanged up the phone on you, but it was for a reason because I don't like arguing, with my friends or anything like that. And I felt like it was like I said, I have learned this year that certain things don't need a reaction. So obviously I didn't want it to go any further. So I did what I did.
Yeah. And what happened after? So like she hung up and I text her. It was rude of you to hang up, but then
Yes,
like
I
an hour,
apologize for
then
that, but
but then like an hour later I called her and we started talking like nothing ever happened. So I think that it is okay to disagree, right? I think that like everything in 2020, our friendship has been rocked in 2020. I want to say that maybe we've argued the most this year than we have in 13
we
years,
have.
15 years or whatever of being friends. But I think
Now that you mentioned that, my mom goes like, when y'all was in school, y'all didn't even argue. And now that y'all both are grown, like y'all arguing back and forth. I'm like, you know what?
yes,
It's just we're going through a lot this year.
this year, and anytime I see that there's turmoil or there's like tension, I think that that just means that God is just shifting us to a different level in our relationship, right?
Yes.
So like, we've been friends forever, but our situations haven't always been the same and whatever. But I think this year we decided to do this business venture, right? And create this podcast together that now we're mixing our friendship. It's not just we're friends, we're also business partners. So, some of our arguments have been on disagreement.
You know what they say, sometimes it's not good to mix, even with family, like mix, business and all that, but
and
you just gotta understand each other.
And even when I look at now, like my marriage, we mixed a lot of things together, right? Like we were both real estate agents, so we tried to do that. We were both homeschooling our kids, so we tried to do that.
Yes.
And then we're also expected to be husband and wife and mom and dad. So it was like so many different titles. And I think that when I look back on it, that was a lot of our problems. That was a lot of our issues because we were arguing about business, we were arguing about homeschooling, who's going to teach the kids today. So I think that it's important to understand that you're not compatible for everything, right?
Yes.
And
even though there are some couples, that are great at doing it like that. They're business partners or everything, and it works out for them.
Yeah, but not everybody. So we have
not everyone.
That everybody's not compatible. And when you realize that, you walk away, right? So I'm grateful that we are still going. We're on episode 11.
Yes.
But
and not just that, outside of this podcast, like our friendship, I feel like it's still strong.
Yeah.
As as it always been. And we do disagree. We have our ups and downs, but that's part of any relationship.
Yeah. And I think again, it's to elevate us to that next level, right? So that's the positive, right? The negative is, we've been arguing a lot. Like that's the truth. but the positive is that we're growing, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not just sitting quiet to things, or we're not just agreeing to each other because we don't want to hurt each other's feelings. We're being real with each other, even when it's nasty, even when it's uncomfortable. We're being real, and that's important. So I'm looking forward to the next 15 years of our friendship and seeing where God leads us.
Oh God. Talking about friendship and stuff, not even friendship, just that
I gotta
person
take
that
the scarf
you
off.
call or whatever when you're in trouble or when you need somebody to talk to. Like, it's important for that person to keep it real with you
Yeah.
and to not agree with everything you say, because
Mhm.
then they're harming you instead of doing you something good.
Yes.
So
So I respect that a lot because there's a lot of mistakes I've made this year, and you're quick to tell me when I make them. And I'll come back to you and I'll say, you were right, you know, like today. I'm like, you were right. But this is how I saw it, and this is why I felt like it was this way. But
yes.
going into the holidays and friendships and family and checking in, I think even when the conversation might be ugly, it's important to check in, right? Um, I'm going through a lot. My emotions are all over. There's days where, like right now, where I'm strong and having a conversation, and there are days where I'm like hysterical and I don't know what to do next. Not
Right.
everybody has the patience for that, right? So, I actually had someone tell me, and if she listens to this, she's gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, she's telling." But I had someone tell me that, they want to make sure that I'm okay, right? They want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that I'm okay, right? But they didn't want to really hear about my situation, or they didn't really want to hear my thought process because I'm all over the place. So, it did hurt for like a second, but I appreciated that person for being honest with me and understanding that everyone is not going to understand what you're going through, right? So during the holiday season, everyone's not going to understand it, right? Like for me, I've been working the whole pandemic. I might not understand from someone that hasn't worked the pandemic. I might not understand, what they're going through at this Christmas season and getting gifts and so forth for their kids because I've worked the whole time. So understanding that you don't have to understand, but you could still be of support by checking in, right? You could still call the person and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" You don't need to.
And not just for the holidays, this is just in general, like,
The holidays
throughout
are
all
hard
the,
though for a lot of people. A lot of, especially this year, the
well,
pandemic has taken away.
especially this year is very hard. It's
Yeah,
very hard. Um,
but you're
you
right in
know,
general.
but yeah, but definitely, like you said, this year is just hard all the way. So it
And
makes it
everybody
10 times
expects you to
harder.
be strong. Like everyone expects you to be happy during the holidays. And this year, I'm not happy. I'm
Um,
grateful. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative to be alive. I'm appreciative for my support. But I'm not in the Christmas spirit, right?
you're not?
Like you asked me a while ago, about a Christmas tree. Like I'm not in the spirit. Like I don't care about a Christmas tree. Um,
Yeah.
so and it's okay. It doesn't mean that, I'm just like miserable, but I just don't that's that's not my concern. Right. And it would then get deeper and say Christmas isn't about toys and gifts, is about, Jesus and all that. But truth is that I'm going
I
through.
mean, when you have kids, like, I mean, my kids, I have to, even if I wasn't in the Christmas spirit, I feel like I had to do it for them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I had to, like, obviously, when you have kids as a mother, you do everything for your kids. So whether if I was feeling or not, if I was, depressed or upset or whatever, I had to put on a happy face
Mm-hmm.
and make my house all Christmassy spirit and all
You
this
did.
and that, and for them.
Yeah, you
So I feel like they are
did.
my what's my word that I want to use? Like, they motivate me for me to obviously, cheer up and
They're your
be
cheer.
all.
They're your
Yeah.
cheer. They're the
Yeah.
ones that make you happy. So they make you happy, so you want to see them happy, and that's why you did what you did.
Yeah.
And
But
that takes a
yes, but
lot.
there are some people who obviously, they're so, so depressed or whatever you say it or whatever, that it's unfortunate that they can't really come out of
Get
it.
out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I noticed for myself is like I'm going through so much, but what keeps me grounded is God. And I know that we don't speak on religion as much on this podcast, but God has definitely got me out of those deep moments. And I think that it's important to have that outlet. Some people don't. Some people don't have a relationship with God. So when they're depressed, they think that's it, right? And that's when the suicides happen. That's when, all of the craziness happens. Um, so during the Christmas season, when you think that people are okay, I really appreciate when people call me. When people call me or text me, I had someone in this past like couple of days call me 3 times, right, within 2 days. And I was a little like agitated, honestly, because I wasn't in the mood to answer their phone call, but I appreciated it. So although I didn't answer their call, I didn't answer their call. I appreciate seeing that they reached out. And, today I did reach back out to that person because they were on my mind, right? That number popped up enough for me to say, oh, let me call them back when I'm in a good state of mind so that I can talk. And then there was a blessing in disguise, right? Like that person was of support to me. So you never know who God has in your corner, because the person that you don't want to be bothered with, or you think you don't want to be bothered with, you answer, and they're actually that miracle that you were waiting for to get you out of that mess.
That's true.
So yeah. I thought this episode was important because, a lot of people that are in depression or they're not themselves, they're not going to beg for your attention. They're not going to ask you to call them. They're not going to ask you to reach out.
Even though I do have to say, though, there's some people who, when they're like, for example, myself, I know there's times when I don't even want to be bothered.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm like going through my own little thing, like, there's times that you call me, I'm like, okay. And I guess you obviously feeling the vibe, like, wait, she don't want to be bothered. So let me just hang up. That's why you have to like understand, you have to respect actually, if a person is going through something and probably they don't want to be bothered by, for example, if they don't answer the phone call when you call them, it's okay. Like, don't get upset. You know what? Send them a text message. Just tell them, I was thinking about you. I'm trying to check up on you to see how you are.
Yeah.
And that text might help them a lot to cheer them up. So
that's what I'm saying. Like the phone calls that I had got, it was like I said, 3 calls in 2 days. And although I didn't answer for that person, I appreciated it.
Right.
I appreciated they reached out, because, sometimes you think when you're going through that people don't care about
that you're alone, that you don't.
Yeah. And you feel alone. You feel like people don't understand, or, and so it's important to see that isn't the case, even if you don't answer, like you said. So the holidays are rough. And like I said, I spoke to a lot of people just today alone, and they were like, they don't celebrate Christmas. And so when you ask them why, it's like, oh, well, some people say it's a money-making holiday, which it is, a lot of people. For
us Spanish people, Christmas is a time to like, we do it big. We actually do it big on the 24th of December. That's our Nochebuena. So we, our tradition is be with family, a whole bunch of damn family. Like we just gather in someone's house and we just all be there partying till the next day.
Yeah.
But it's sad because this year we can't do all that.
Yes.
So that also kind of contributes to the whole feeling, I don't know, feeling kind of like, because I know you mentioned like, what's your plans? Yeah, I'm just going to be home with my kids, that's it. Yeah. Obviously, we're just going to do the virtual thing, but it's not the same.
Virtual?
What happened?
You guys really do like the virtual call? Like, do you do Zoom or?
Yes, actually, for my mom's birthday, that wasn't on Thanksgiving. It fell. We did the whole virtual thing.
Okay.
We did. We called everyone from California to Honduras to my brother. Actually, came here, but everywhere throughout here, like we just did the whole virtual. We sang for her and everything. So that kind of affects a lot of people.
Yeah.
that are used to gathering with their family.
Yeah.
So,
And let's be honest, like physical touch, human touch, we are meant to be around people. So
yes.
imagine the people that don't live with their family. Imagine the people that live on their own and now they
Yeah.
can't go to their families' homes because of COVID. It's like
Yes.
check in on those people. Like, you know, for those people to be home by themselves, you know, they must be going through something, right? So I've been trying to check on people, and I even, was saying like, if I don't hear from you, or on Christmas, have an early happy Christmas, have an early happy holiday. But I try to reach out to people that I haven't spoken to in a while, because
Yeah.
life consumes you to the point that you don't realize you didn't speak to that person for like 2 or 3
Yeah. This year has actually brought me very close to my siblings.
That's good.
My sisters that I have in California, like we speak, we FaceTime like a
Mhm.
lot now. So it's actually a positive thing that, I'm more connected to like family that I have over there. So it's like, I'm glad for all that. I'm glad for
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. I mean, I definitely think that that helps. And, even for myself, I'm closer to my family this year. Obviously, I believe it's due to the passing of my dad this summer. Also, it's due to my separation. But it just makes me feel so good to know that, your family is always going to be there for you, regardless
yes,
of
no
what
matter what.
relationship you're in.
Yes,
Whatever you do, you might turn your back on your family, but at the end, when you need them the most, they're there.
they're there.
And that makes me feel good. That makes me grateful to see that, we can argue every day and disagree every day and say we're never
Yes.
going to speak to each other.
Girl, my
But
family, we could argue, we could say whatever, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, we're there.
yeah. And I
Family is
think that
family. And
that right there is like the most meaningful, right? That's the best
yes,
Christmas present that I can get, is knowing that my family is there regardless, right? Regardless of
yes,
what we've been through in the past, they can put that to the side and say, my baby sister, or, my granddaughter, or, whatever, like she needs me. And
yeah.
I don't need to ask, right? They just know. And I think that that's important, because that kept me, that kept me to where I am today. Because there's
Mm-hmm.
definitely some hard days, and if I didn't have family or friends that stayed on top of me, I don't know what tomorrow will bring. So I'm
Yeah.
grateful. Um, I hope you guys are taking this and you're listening and you're taking it and you're making phone calls as we are even talking to you guys, because it's
Yeah.
so much. It's so easy to say, I'm going to call that person tomorrow. I'm going to call that person next week.
But you don't
So,
know, like you said, it's not guaranteed that they're gonna wake up tomorrow
yeah,
or a week from, today.
yeah,
So especially like we mentioned, this year has really taught us to like really like, take care of our loved ones. Like,
mhm,
reach out to them, like keep in contact. Like
yeah,
it's just so important.
yeah.
I love my family. I love my friends. So it's like,
Yeah. Shout out, where'd you get your jacket from? Let's shout that out.
yes, my nephew from California, San Francisco. He, sent it to me as a early Christmas gift. So, I had to put it on.
Yes.
So, and this is my color red. So yeah.
So he knows you oh so well, all the way from across the United States.
Yes.
And
My
you got it
nephew.
just in
Love him.
time for Christmas. So he did really well with the gift. He paid
Yes.
attention. He will be
Yes.
good. How old is he?
Oh my God. He's like 20 something. I don't know.
Put you on the spot. But
You put me on the
anyway,
spot.
I'm sure if he's married or he has a girlfriend, he pays attention to detail. Okay.
Yes.
Guys, take notes. her color is red, okay? He sent her the correct size. I'm sure he didn't even ask what her size was. Like, he thought of
I
her.
can't with you.
This is a relationship podcast. I had to get back to that relationship aspect. But yeah, so I mean, we are grateful We hope
Yes.
that we can see you guys. Like I said, we'll see you guys before the new year. We'll see you guys next week. Um, but we thank you guys for supporting us. And if you guys would like to shout out anybody in particular, and on our podcast, like Angela just did for her nephew. uh, Definitely on Anchor, you can do a voice recording, as well as you can just, DM us and we'll shout them out for you. But I think that it's important to let people know you're thinking about them,
Yes.
and that you love them, and you care about them. And life's too short to hold grudges or anger, or
Yes.
in my heart, I'm not that person. And when I am that person, it makes me physically sick. So I hope that's the same for you guys. And I hope you guys realize, after this year, you take some lessons. You don't just complain and say, oh my goodness, COVID, COVID, COVID. Yes, COVID. But what's the positive, right?
Yes.
The positive is you could be closer with your family. Angela said that she's closer with her family. And I'm so happy to hear that, because that tells you that you don't have to see the person every day to be close to them, right? And I think it's important that we stay connected to people. And there's no excuse. There's so many different platforms now that you can stay
Yes. There's no excuse right now. So, yeah.
So I don't know if this is a short episode today. I feel like it is. But, I definitely wanted to come on. I didn't want to miss you guys this week. We didn't want to miss you guys again this week. And so we're just happy. And, we appreciate your support. You keep us going.
Yes.
And, next week we'll definitely be on, and hopefully we'll have a guest for you. But like always, if you have any suggestions for topics, we are available. Send us, DM us your topic suggestions. If you would like to be a guest on the Real and Raw podcast, DM us and we'll put you on our schedule. But we're all about healing, guys, and we're all about, being better than we were yesterday, right? Relationships are not easy, but we need to learn from them and grow. We can't stay in that place. We have to get out. And so no more of 2020. We're going to look into 2021. What does that look like for you? I think maybe next week we should have our topic should be New Year's resolution.
That's a good one.
For relationships, right? What will we not accept? What we will accept? You got a week to write your
Oh,
list.
God. I already know what I am not going to accept, okay? And I know what I want, and I know all this, so it should be fun.
So we're going to write it down, because when you write it down and you're able to look at it on paper, it comes true. So guys, help us out. Give us some New Year's resolutions for relationships in 2021. What will we no longer accept going into 2021?
We're just doing a relationship. Can we do it just everything?
You can do in general too, but because it's a relationship podcast, I figured I'll throw that in there.
It's not okay. You know what? It's not all about relationship. Well, yeah, I guess. Whatever.
Relationships, friendships, family ships, relationships, like all of that. Unless you want to change the topic course of the Real and Raw for 2021.
Are we gonna do this right now?
We're brainstorming, guys. We're brainstorming. All right, guys. So until next time, thank you for tuning into the Real and Raw with Tasha
and Angela.
Bye. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Feliz Navidad.
Oh my God, did you almost forget? Feliz Navidad, okay?
Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, all of that. All of that.
Yes.
Positive vibes.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.